Movement Young Adults. God bless you, Pastor Timothy here. Thank you for joining me for today's podcast. Listen, this is going to be a little different. I am wanted to share my heart, and I want to pray for you. We are going to be regathering for the movement next Thursday, September 10th, and I am very excited about it. Family, we're going to be social distancing. Wear your mask. You want to wear your mask. It's going to be good. It's going to be healthy. It's going to be safe. It's going to be good. We have childcare as well. But here's the thing. I am not ignorant or blind to know that this season has not been hard for you. I know it's been hard for some. I know it's been difficult for some of you. I know it took everything you could muster up not to quit. With everything that's going on, the things you watched on the news, family, all the many levels of injustices that's going on, and all this mess, the deaths that's going through COVID, and all this junk that has been happening, the physical issues as well as the mental and issues that's been going on, family. The struggle has been so real. And the fact is that we haven't been able to regather face to face since March has not added to it. And listen, my wife and I, we tried our best, and the team, we tried our best to make sure that we are bridging the gap that social distancing created through all of this social media online platform. Again, we made deep investments in our cameras and things of that nature, and I hope you recognize and you have seen all the effort that we have been putting in. But even with that, I get it, it's still not the same. Like right now, I'm still talking in a camera, but it's different from us having face to face and seeing each other's facial expressions and being around each other's presence. Family, it's different. For some of you, I believe that this season has been so hard. In some ways, you still may have been feeling isolated. You may have been feeling alone. Maybe your phone didn't blow up as much as you wanted it to. Maybe you feel like you lost connections with relationships and friendships and things of that nature. Or there's also maybe some of you who feel like this season has been the best season of your life. It's been a place where you unplugged. Maybe you've learned things. Maybe you became educated about some things. Maybe it was a place of reprieve. Maybe the season of rest brought your family back together. Whatever the case may be, I'm sure there's been highs and there's been lows for all of us. But let me tell you what is necessary. I think it's in this season, and especially as we regather, it is necessary for us to look in and look out. I think it's necessary for us to look in, to have this place of like introspection, this internal journey where we're looking in ourselves and we're asking ourselves this simple question: am I good? Right? And not am I good? Like, am I simply being a good person? Nah, you've met some of you. If you grew up like, you know what I'm talking about. Are you good? Meaning, are you well? Are you healthy? Are you straight? Are you all right? Are not simply are you being good, but are you good? I want this to be a moment where when we're regathering, where we are brave enough to take the journey. And even now, as you listen to this podcast, my question for you today is: are you good? Are you good? Are you all right? Are you straight? And listen, it's okay. It is okay for you not to be okay. It's okay for you to feel like, man, I wish I'm doing better. It's okay for you to acknowledge the fact that you may not be where you want to be. It's okay for you to see that there needs to be change in you, or maybe there needs to be some things tightened up, or maybe there needs to be some lifestyle and decisions that you picked up that is not healthy, family. It's okay to know that you need to change. Okay. And not only know you need to change, it's important that you do change. Okay. So I want you right now just to ask yourself, man, am I good? Am I straight? It's okay. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel. It's okay to grieve. Like what is blowing my mind in this season, I believe will make it so hard. There's been so much deep depression, so much anxiety, so much suicide, so much stuff that's going on. And even at the same time, the social distancing, not being able to meet, have not been able to have some conversations face to face. And for many people, not being able to grieve, not being able to process, You know what I mean? Death of loved ones. I have a family member who died of COVID, and man, and the huge level of injustices is going on, and everything that's going on, and the grief, and then man, just a couple of days ago, the death of Bosman. I mean, and so this, like, so much stuff that's going on, and that's just naming a few. I know you got plenty of details. That is just hurt after hurt after hurt after hurt after hurt. And so I don't want to assume that you just made it through this season without any bruises, without any cuts, without any hiccups, without any baggage you may have picked up along the way, without any issues or bondage or whatever. I don't want to assume that you are good, family. I want us to know that we are. But with anything, before you find progress, you find healing, you find health, you find restoration, it requires honesty. It requires a moment where you look in the mirror and you ask yourself this question: am I good? Am I straight? Am I right? Or am I assuming that I am? So go ahead, take a moment. Ask yourself, maybe you don't even have to ask them. Maybe it's very effective, Matt. You maybe already know that, hey, things are not the way it should be. Things is not where it needs to be. Maybe you, from a spiritual standpoint and a church standpoint, maybe you feel like you let your devotional die, or your fire died, or maybe you're not worshiping the way you need to worship, or whatever, all that stuff, family, which is important. Or maybe it's from a life standpoint, you don't even feel like you don't have the strength to muster up to even do it. And the last thing you're thinking of is church life. So again, I'm excited us to gather together and have church, but I want to talk to you about faith, right? Not just church, the things we do and the service we do for God and things of nature. We're going to read God a Move. It's going to be great. I'm excited for all that. We're going to have these conversations, but I want to talk to you about life. I want to talk to you about your faith. I want to talk about, are you good, family? Not faking it, not mustering it, not putting up a front, not just running through the motions. Are you good? Whether you're watching this and you're part of the movement, young adults here in Florida, or whether you're not, the question still stands in this season: are you good? Because I'm concerned that you're not. And but to be honest with you, I can understand why, fam. Because this season has been hard, and there's haven't been, in some capacities, hasn't been a place really where there's been a place safe to face to face or safely, whatever, that we can have these human interactions, or the moment where you can do it. And so again, I think anytime you want to burn bright, burn together. You want a fire to burn strong, burn together. Put a fire on a match. That thing's gonna burn, and it has a limited amount of time. But put that fire on some other wood and some things in nature is gonna burn. Like, I think that coming together, burning together, is important, right? And so, anyways, and I hope you hear my heart about this, because, family, I just want you to ask yourself this question: am I good? Am I straight? Am I right? And you need to know that if you recognize that you are not, it's okay to know I'm not good. Because you know what the problem is? Is that maybe you were raised in a Christian household that crucified you for your honesty. That you thought that, okay, I can't say that I have a problem. I can't say that I'm hurting. I can't say that I'm broken. I can't say that I'm lonely. I can't say that I'm going through this. I can't say that I'm fill in the blank, because then if I say it, then it's a sin. What? Or people ridiculed you because you're supposed to be this quote unquote type of person or whatever, forgetting that you are still human, that you are still a person. All of us each and every day should be these individuals who are trying to pick up a cross daily and follow him, but to acknowledge not to acknowledge the necessity of realizing this very state of our life needs a touch from God is absolute craziness. It's okay to be honest with the state of your life, right? What's not okay is for us to acknowledge the state of our life and deem that it's okay to stay there. But I'm talking about recognizing the fruit of where you may be. So let me tell you, why are you watching it? I know whether you're a leader, whether you're a minister, whether you're a churchgoer, whether you're not, whatever the case may be, where this present state you're in right now, forget about your title, forget about your position, forget about your reputation, forget about all that stuff, forget about all that stuff. And listen, it doesn't matter right now. Right now, who you are you good? Are you broken? Do you need help? Do you need a hold? Do you need a restoration? Do you need to be whole? Do you need restoration from whatever the case may be? I don't know where you may be, but I think it's important to start off with this simple notion, this question, this thought. Am I good? Okay. Because am I good? Not just being a good person. Am I all right? Am I straight? Am I healthy? Am I mentally healthy? Am I emotionally healthy? Am I emotionally stable? Am I good? Because family, this is what I'm concerned. My prayer, my heart, and for my leaders, for the movement workers, for our families, man, is that there's been so much has happened in these past months. Yo, it's been so crazy. I just know from like people in my communities, so crazy. And I think a disservice our Christian culture does in the process of healing is that we outsource everything first 100% spiritual, right? So someone is going through anxiety, so we'll just say, hey, God says don't have anxiety. Okay, I'm glad he says that. I'm glad the word says that. I'm glad the word says don't cast all anxiety on him, he cares for more. I'm glad the word says that, but how do I get there? How do I apply this? How do I find this? You know what I'm saying? It's so I think there has to be understanding we're having this conversation, a spiritual aspect, but a physical aspect, an emotional aspect as well. And I think that in this season that we missed it. Maybe we missed the mark. How do I say this, fam? Like, I just think the lack of able to gathering and helping people walk through some of the crises that has happened face to face in this hour, that has left individuals to simply fend for themselves, I think has caused a very deep detrimental wound in people's mind and heart and spirit. Like I said, I think church culture in some ways across the board, that we hear things like hold fast confession of your tongue. And again, I think that again has its place or whatnot. And what does that mean is like people are like, well, don't say that. Don't speak that out. Don't speak that out. But I understand that. And I have a message I'm going to talk about in the book of James. Eventually, it's called Watch Your Mouth. And so it is important what we speak, but that is important to hold fast confession tongue in one aspect, one stint, but also another, to take it to the extreme, is that there's people who are not being vocal or honest about what they're going through because they think that when they speak it out, they're literally speaking it life into it. And so what happens? They don't find therapy. They don't let people know about what they're going through because they don't want to say anything out loud. So they internalize their pain and they fight through things in silence, and ends up festering in their life in unexpected places. So anyways, family, listen, I want to ask a simple question I have for you today. Listen, I'm just sitting here in my office. But this is where I want to ask you, before we regather, before we get to place, I want to ask you, are you good? And let me tell you, and if you're not, please come anyway. Listen, perfection, y'all know us, the movement family. Perfection is never the prerequisite to walk through the door. Having it all together is never the prerequisite to walk through the door, fam. Come to me. Come. What the Bible says: "Come to me, all you heavy laden, and I'll give you rest." Yo, come as you are. But first is to recognize that, man, maybe you're not where you need to be. The next step So ask God to step in it. Am I good? Man, I'm not good. God, help me. Is that simple? It starts off that way, of course. Is recognizing, hey, I need you, God. I'm not good. I'm not all right. I'm not straight. I can put a smile over this. I can laugh over this. I can help everybody else. But deep inside, God, I'm not good. And I know that you are good. So do a good work in me. God, help me in my moment of weakness. Help me in my time of brokenness. God, help me in my season of despair. God, help me in my moment of time where I'm questioning so many different things. Help me, God. When you say, God, when you recognize I'm not good, but you recognize a God who is good, and you give him opportunity to step in, he does a good work in you. He really does. But it starts off with recognizing the question that, fam, I'm not good. It happens with recognizing honesty. We are not going to create a movement of fake people. No, we need a movement of real people who encountered a real God, who did a real work in them, so they can share a real testimony to real people who has real issues that also needs a touch from a real God, because they know he will do a real good thing. We need honesty. In this hour, we need it desperately. So this podcast, this video, maybe this, again, I'm not trying to preach. I'm just trying to talk to you because I want you to have this notion in your mind, because what's going to happen, I can see it now. There's going to be some of you, and listen, please hear this as confirmation. Hear this as confirmation. There's been some of you that you had a reputation of being, man, this on fire person or whatever. Things happened this season. Maybe you dropped away or whatever case may be. Or maybe some of you've been struggling with condemnation and guilt. You've entertained and involved yourself in things you know you shouldn't have done. You compromised on the very things that you told God you would never do in this last couple of months. And you've been pondering not going back to the movement, not coming back into service, not going back in the church in general. You've been pondering, I'm just going to stay home, right? Because it's very single reason where that I don't got it all together. I'm not where I used to be. Blah blah blah. I got to get better first. I got to get myself together first. Bump all that foolishness. No. Mm-mm. Not another. If you understand that reference, God bless you. Not another. Nobody, none of us is going to be pointing fingers at you. Everybody's going to be stretching out their hands. Social distancing, of course. You know what I'm saying? It's speaking. You know, feel me? And so this is a moment where you need to get rid of that thought, that think that, well, I'm not ready. I made too many mistakes. I'm doing the thing. I don't want to be. No, what in the world? The movement, the church, the movement family. This is a place to be healed. You can find your healing in your bedroom, in your shower. You can give it to God right now, family. But we are not a gathering of young adults who are masquerading our perfections and has this country club ideal of elitists who now you can come in when you have it all together. No. Come to me, all you heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So bump all those notions, forget all of that, silence all those lies, and come just the way you are. And let God in, because he'll take you through it. He'll walk you in it. He'll walk you through it. Anyways, fam, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but you get what I'm saying is that, we need some Jesus, fam. Are you good? And if you're not, let God be it. Let God step in it. So we're going to regather on September 10th, and I'm excited to get back. And so if you've been a part of the movement before, come. If you've never been part of the movement, come. 7 o'clock, 875 Elkham Boulevard at Trinity Church, right in their sanctuary. Website of the church is Trinity, www.trinityfla.com. And again, we're just gonna have an awesome time. The presence of God is gonna be there. We're gonna have amazing time. It's gonna be good. 7 to 8:30. So it's gonna be dope. And I want to invite you out, but I don't want you to think that you're not qualified or capable or able to come into church because you're not where you used to be in March. All right. I'm not like saying that, oh, it's okay that It's okay that you're not okay. It's okay that you compromise. No, obviously, family, we got standards we live up to. But I'm not gonna throw away. I'm not gonna take my belt off, my chancleta or whatever, and say, hey, well, you're not okay, so now you shouldn't come. Bump all that. No, fam. Maybe you're good, so you can probably disregard some of this stuff. Or maybe some of you're not, where you compromised. You failed. You sinned. You let your fire die. You got distracted. Whatever the case may be. Come home. Come home. Come home.